What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders says that he would love to take pleasure in beating Canelo Alvarez to ruin Cinco de Mayo. He said this in detail. He says, "That's because he's the face of boxing, and I'd like the chance to beat him," Saunders told Sky Sports. "Here's the really scary thing. I know I can do it. I would take pleasure in ruining Cinco de Mayo for the Mexican fans." He says, "I've watched Canelo fight Ryan Rhodes and Matthew Hatton. I've known since day one, ever since I put on a pair of gloves, that our paths would cross. I always knew and dreamed what would happen when we did. Just the same as David Lemieux, I always knew our paths would cross too, and they did. Just the same as becoming world champion, I always knew I could do it, and I did," said Billy Joe Saunders. Now, of course, we know Billy Joe Saunders, a lot of things have changed for him. He has left Frank Warren and went along with Eddie Hearn with Matchroom. And what does that mean? That means a lot of his venues now will be on DAZN, who also fights on DAZN. Canelo Alvarez with Golden Boy, okay? And it's one of those fights now that looks more possible to happen because both of them are really the same age. Billy Joe Saunders is still, to this day, undefeated. He is the WBO super middleweight champion. And with the style that Billy Joe Saunders has, fighting someone like Canelo would be a very interesting fight. And the scary thing about what Billy Joe Saunders is saying, he could be that guy to ruin the winning streak of Canelo Alvarez. Now, make no mistake about it, the winning streak from Canelo Alvarez hasn't been an easy road for him. He's had a lot of close fights, a lot of controversial decisions, but he has fought some of the best. Now, fighting someone like Billy Joe Saunders would be a really true test, and I think that would be a fight that Canelo would sway away from. But it could happen because I think Eddie Hearn is one of those type of guys. He has a good enough working relationship with Oscar De La Hoya for that fight to possibly be made. Because Canelo has fought Danny Jacobs which is Hearn's fighter, along with Rocky Fielding. Now he has Billy Joe Saunders, and I think Billy Joe Saunders just really looked at it like, dude, he has all these particular guys, all these fighters, and these guys are getting this shot at Canelo. Why can't I, being a champion, being undefeated, being the same age, being in my prime, why couldn't I get those same things? And I think that was one of the reasons why Billy Joe Saunders went with Eddie Hearn. So the way Saunders is talking, it would be one of those things where it's a clever move for him to ruin that particular date, because we know that is Canelo's date. And to fight someone like that, like he went to David Lemieux's backyard and smoked him, schooled him, right? and I'm a David Lemieux fan because I just like how he cracks. You know what I mean? He can punch. He's probably one of the hardest middleweights punchers around, but he could not do anything with Saunders. And if we saw Canelo versus Lara, okay, we learned that Canelo doesn't like people that move. That's why maybe the Andrade fight hasn't happened, right? Because of the style. And Billy Joe has a similar style, and he is a southpaw, just like Lara, just like Andrade, just like just like these guys that will give him problems. Okay, Trout was also a southpaw, but Trout wasn't a big southpaw. Neither was Lara, and I think that he was able to deal with that because they were around his same height. Now these guys are bigger, taller, stronger. I couldn't say quicker, but they have that same type of style that can give him problems. Okay, so believe it or not, if that fight happened, that would be the fight that I would love to see. And then if he takes that fight with Billy Joe Saunders, I would give him mad respect just for taking the fight. instead of, oh, let me go up and try another experimental fight. But it would be a challenging fight because I know how Canelo fights, and I know what he likes, and I know what he don't like. And Canelo is a good, very good fighter, but he doesn't change. He's just always been a good fighter. He looks like he's getting better, but that's against certain fighters. I want to see what he does, and I want to see how he improves against guys that can move and box and that fight from the southpaw stance, like Lara and Billy Joe. So anyway, do you guys think Billy Joe Saunders could ruin Canelo Alvarez's Cinco de Mayo weekend? Let me know. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.